Hello everyone, this is Defense Politics Asia, and Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin had a very long phone call in regards to Ukraine and the Ukraine war. And accordingly, from what I've read, it seems like they have spoken for 2 hours. So this video posted by Zlati71. Alex Christopher also reposted this. Basically, this is Putin's first comments after the phone call, and let's hear what he has to say, and I will actually add on to what he says and my opinions about what it's likely actually is. So let's hear.
Добрый вечер. Меня коллеги просили сказать несколько слов о результатах нашего телефонного разговора с президентом Соединенных Штатов. Действительно, этот разговор состоялся, продолжался более 2 часов. Хочу отметить, что он был очень содержательным и весьма откровенным. И в целом, на мой взгляд, в этой связи весьма полезным. Прежде всего, я поблагодарил президента Соединенных Штатов за поддержку со стороны США возобновления прямых переговоров между Россией и Украиной по поводу возможного заключения мирного соглашения, по поводу возобновления переговоров, которые были прерваны украинской стороной, как известно, еще в 2022 году. Президент Соединенных Штатов высказал свою позицию по поводу прекращения боевых действий, перемирия, и со своей стороны отметил также, что и Россия выступает за мирное урегулирование украинского кризиса. Мы должны просто определить наиболее эффективные пути движения к миру. Договорились с президентом Соединенных Штатов о том, что Россия предложит и готова работать с украинской стороной над меморандумом по поводу возможного будущего мирного договора с определением ряда позиций, таких как, например, принципы урегулирования, сроки возможного заключения мирного соглашения и так далее, включая и возможное прекращение огня на определенное время в случае достижения соответствующих договоренностей. Кстати говоря, контакты между участниками встречи и переговоров в Стамбуле, они возобновились, и это дает основание полагать, что мы в целом на правильном пути. Еще раз хочу подчеркнуть, что беседа была очень конструктивной, и я ее оцениваю высоко. Вопрос, конечно, в том, чтобы российская и украинская сторона проявили максимум стремления к миру и нашли бы те компромиссы, которые бы устроили все стороны. При этом хочу отметить, что в целом позиция России ясна. Главное для нас устранить первопричины этого кризиса. Если потребуется что-то уточнить, то пресс-секретарь Песков и помощник господин Ушаков разъяснят чуть позднее какие-то детали наших сегодняшних переговоров с президентом Трампом по телефону. Спасибо.
What should I say? It feels a little bit like saying a lot of nothing, but let's break it down. So the key point is that they have very frank conversation. Clearly, I think it's pretty clear that Trump and Putin can be very frank to each other. They're all high level people, and they know how this game is played. And you can see that Putin himself is he's basically giving a PR speech. It's nothing much. He's just generally thanking Donald Trump for making this effort. But no, all they can agree with is Russia will offer Ukraine a memorandum on basically the vague details about the peace deal or potential peace deal. So it's simply a memorandum, simply say that, okay, we shall going to talk about peace. That's all. It's basically nothing. It basically already whatever they are already doing. And towards the end, you also can see that no, he still talks about it's important to resolve the cause of the war. So what's the cause of the war? The cause of the war is 2014 Euromaidan. Is the Donbass civil war. Is the Russophobia and the elimination of Russian language and culture within Ukraine. It is the neo-Nazism that is taking root or have already taken root in Ukraine that needs to be eliminated, which is part of the main objective of the special military operation, which is the denazification. Also, to bring Ukraine back into neutrality, cannot join NATO, demilitarization. Basically, Russia wants everything that they wanted. There is no change, and yeah, like I said, he said a lot of nothing in this interview. But I mean he have to put in the nice word for Trump, because the main concern for Russia with United States is nothing to do with Ukraine war. They want to have a collaboration and partnership in other issues, not with the Ukraine war. And if you look at what he says about the memorandum, and let me pull in. So they work with to this memorandum, a possible memorandum on the possible future peace deal. It's not memorandum on the future peace deal. So it's only possible. It may not happen. So and then they want to define the number of positions within this peace for the peace deal. The principle of settlement, which means who is going to pay each other what thing, or who will give up what thing to each other. Timeline for the peace agreement, which is as good as no point. Let's say if Russia invades all the way to Kiev and conquer most of Ukraine, what kind of timeline do you actually want to talk about? And including a ceasefire for a certain period of time if appropriate agreements are reached. And you see, this is yet another, if is already we're not sure, appropriate, which is also another layer of we are not sure, are reached, which is also yet another layer of not sure. So there is 3 layers of probability or maybe will not happen. So this is like a if. No, that is very, very far away from a peace deal. Very far away. And yeah, they then he said that the resumption of talks in Istanbul means that they're generally on the right track. But this right track on what? So he is the right track towards peace, but peace can be defined very differently. Peace could be Ukraine giving up and surrendering to Russia. Peace could also be Russia doing some concessions to give Ukraine something, and cut back on the amount of demands that Russia wants on Ukraine. So which is clearly not doable. The Russians are speeding up in their captures right now in Ukraine, and it's not going to happen. So basically, this is basically a lot of nothing. So and there's a funny joke on DPA Telegram. Someone commented, the first 1.5 hours of the 2 hours is Putin giving Donald Trump a history lesson, which which maybe it is because Putin will be very super interested to tell Donald Trump of all the history of how they actually get to this point, to get to the war, going back way before 2014, about the EU expansion, the NATO thing about with Georgia, then after that, then the Euromaidan, then the Civil War happened, and then the Ukrainians crushed the Ukrainian civilians in Donbass, and then the burning of people in Odessa. Then the Donbass people fight back, and then troops defected. Russia need to protect their interests. They took Crimea and so and then of course they have to talk about the Minsk agreement. 1.5 hours talking about history. It's not impossible. And he would need to brief Donald Trump on the history, to be honest, because Donald Trump is a very high level people. He don't go too detailed, into the small details. But a lot of these small details are very important to understand the entire picture of what Russia actually wants and what Ukraine actually is. At least from the perspective of the Russians. So I wouldn't be surprised with this history lesson from Putin if it actually happened. And so I checked TruthSocial on Donald Trump's TruthSocial account. I haven't seen him talk about this yet. He's busy disparaging Kamala Harris. So so not yet anything yet. So tentatively, this is my thoughts. It looks like a big bunch of nothing. It's just them chatting and catching up, and that's about it. The war will go on, and I think that the final endpoint is still going to be decided on the battlefield. And if that's the case, we all know how this is going to go. So thank you for watching. Press the like button, subscribe, and check out the situation report, the latest situation right now in Ukraine, in the Ukraine war. Then you will know what I'm talking about. See you guys in the next update.